we're going to go ahead and get started. First question, Jonathan Fagan.
Hi, Rafael. The previous drafts, there were trades and maneuvers. Did this one feel, compared to that, as if things just fell into place? And how are you feeling as the picks before yours played out, before your selections?
Yeah, I mean, we were actually really active in this draft. Kind of, it just didn't result in anything. So it's kind of funny. Maybe more active than any draft, just trying to get to different places for various reasons. Namely because Cam was dropping, and so we were trying hard to get up to get him, and then we got him. So it kind of worked out. So in that sense, I think maybe that just fell in place. So we're definitely excited that we ended up with the guys we ended up with.
Kelly Iko.
Rafael, just for all the pre-draft work that you guys did over the weeks and months, to be able to leave this draft with two players that most considered were top 5 or top 7, how does that feel from a front office standpoint?
I mean, we're really happy. We think we feel like we got a lot, two really talented guys, and we improved kind of the potential of our team on a going forward basis. And so today was a really good day.
Danielle Lerner.
You mentioned Cam falling, which I think surprised a lot of people. Just how surprised were you that he was still there at 20? And then there has been some reports that was because some teams were concerned about his physicals. Do you guys have any concerns about his health at all?
No, we don't. I mean, I think Cam physicaled in Chicago. Every team had access to it. Our doctors had access to it. We were very comfortable with it. I think he's going to have, knock on wood, I think he's well positioned to have a really good career. So, I guess different people have different opinions, and I don't know why any other team is doing what they're doing. But again, I know we're really excited to have him.
Vanessa Richardson.
Hi, Rafael. What were some of the intangibles that really drew you to Amen Thompson?
Oh, I mean, I'm really excited. I'm excited about everybody, but you said tangibles or intangibles?
Sorry, intangibles. So we know about his athleticism, what he can do on the court, but what were some of the intangibles that you really liked about him?
Yeah, I mean, he seems very driven. He's very serious. Not that he's not fun or anything else, but he's in the brief time we've spent together, it's not like you get the opportunity to live together the way you do during a season. But he seems to be a very mature young man for his age, and kind of very serious about his craft, very dedicated. I think he's been very well prepared by his family for the journey he's about to take.
Brian Bearfield.
Mr. Stone, do you think that you drafted two players who reflect your new head coach, Ime Udoka, as far as the attitude and the work ethic is concerned?
I do.
Cody Davis.
Hey, Mr. Stone, looking back on what you guys were able to do in 2021 and 2022 and tonight, how do you feel about the overall collection of talent you guys were able to get, especially without receiving a number 1 pick in neither one of these drafts?
I think the NBA has set up a system where, screw that. The draft is by, trying to predict how good people will be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years from now is really hard. The game is really hard. The lifestyle is really hard. But I do think we've done overall a very good job of identifying talented guys, putting them in a position where they could succeed. And and that's my job, is to try and find people who have a chance to be really good in time. And it's not go all in on a single person. And if someone doesn't end up being the best player in the history of basketball, by no means does that mean that I failed or they failed. And I think that, what we're really trying to do is build a really good group that can win a championship as a team. It is a team game. You absolutely need talent. You need tons of it. And you kind of need, you need a steady influx of it. And so, I think, I think, we kind of perceive this summer as the end of stage one, and probably the most important thing about stage one of our rebuilding process was to infuse the organization with talented young players. And I think we've been able to do a good job of that.
Adam Spalding.
Hey, Rafael, does anything that you did tonight, will that impact the type of player that you target in free agency?
No.
And with Amen, you had Jalen and you had Jabari kind of start from day one. What are kind of your expectations for Amen for next season?
Come in, work as hard as he possibly can, compete like crazy, and do whatever coach asks of him. And that's my expectation, not just of him, but of all of our players.
Ali Khanbajani.
Hey, Rafael, back in April, before you hired Ime, you had mentioned that in the next coach, you wanted them to have a real vision for how to implement young guys and incorporate some veterans. So now with 2 draft picks tonight and 9 first rounders in the last 3 years, and potentially adding veterans, like you said, can you share some of the vision, Ime, and you have for how to incorporate young players with the potential veteran additions?
I think that's more a question for him, but even more so, I think that's a question for after free agency as opposed to now. I think we're kind of the draft's an important part of what we're doing, but we also have to get through free agency and to this, and I think after that I'll be better positioned to answer your question.
Lashard Binkley.
Hello, Mr. Stone. Coming into the draft, kind of a 2-part question. Were your organization considering trading the number 20 pick, and did that all kind of change once Cam Whitmore started to slide down the draft board?
Yeah, we were considered trading it, but both ways. Like we were active. We were actually trying to trade up. But we always intended to try and trade up in this draft. Didn't know that we weren't successful, so guess that was going to fail. But that was when we thought Cam was going to go in the top 6 or 7 picks. So we thought that there was maybe some strategy that made sense for us in getting a little higher. And so, yeah, but we also talked about if that wasn't successful, trading out, if we didn't like somebody at the pick, and we were talking to a number of teams about what that would look like. And some of those potential transactions were very attractive, but again, not nearly as attractive as picking Cam, which is what we did.
Michael Shapiro.
Hi, Rafael. Did it surprise you tonight when Whitmore slid outside of the lottery, and was he at any point in consideration for y'all at that number 4 spot?
I was shocked that he slid outside the lottery. And we considered a lot of people at the number 4 spot. We did getting weird feedback. Sorry about that. We're really comfortable with the men. And we feel extraordinarily lucky that he was there for us to take. So I think and I'm very happy with both of them.
Jackson Gatlin.
Hey, Rafael, congrats on completing another draft. Cam mentioned that he had been in Houston for about a month and a half during the pre-draft process. What was that pre-draft process like, and how much confidence do you have moving forward organizationally with that pick, despite some of the reporting out there about some of the potential health concerns?
Yeah, I mean, again, like he came in and worked out like, I don't know, 3-4 days ago, something like that. He looked great. I saw him in Santa Barbara a month ago, looked great. Our doctors think he's going to do just fine. So, yeah, what people are reporting, I don't know. And kind of, I don't care. I obviously care very much what our doctors say, but we rely on them, and I'm very comfortable. And in terms of being here in Houston, yeah, no, I think he's been here for quite a while, working out at one of the local gyms here that that a lot of people, including my son, work out at, and so everybody's known he's around. And I think you know, when he came in and we had a chance to interview him, he talked about how much he loved the city. So and it was very obviously genuine. I thoroughly enjoyed my conversation with Cam. And so I think this is a really good fit.
Jonathan Fagan.
My power went out for a little while, so I'm sorry if you have had a question exactly like this, but we've heard a great deal leading up to the draft about Amen's strengths and weaknesses. How do you see those playing out initially and then over time? And I said Amen, I think. Yeah, I mean Amen.
Yeah, no, you did say Amen. I mean, I don't know, like hopefully he ends up being the best basketball player to have ever laced him up. That would work for me. I think Amen's true, you know, he's extraordinarily physically gifted. And I don't know that anybody who's ever come through our gym has ever been a more impressive athlete. And he can really handle the ball, and he can really pass the ball, and he can really defend. That's like excuse me, that's super exciting. You know, and we'll see, right? We'll see where it all ends up. But yeah, I'm really, I think Ahmed has a chance to be really special, and I can't wait to work with him. And I love the way he plays basketball. I think that the things he does, the things that come natural, are really, it lends itself to winning basketball. So we're excited, and I do think he fits really well with this with our current group. And as that group grows, as we bring in free agents and everything else, I think it's likely to be a good fit as well.
Thank you.
Chancellor Johnson.
Hey, Rafael, when you think about what Amen and Cam bring to the team athletically and with their versatility, what kind of stands out and how they fit in that group in those two components?
We're athletic. I think we can jump. So I think, you know, we already were, and we doubled down. And you know, it's never a bad thing to be a hyper athletic team. And I think we'll be that. So I think that's what stands out to me.
We'll take two more. Brian Bearfield.
How motivated do you think that Cam will be now that he slipped out of that? You know, he thought that he would be in those first 7 picks, and you all were able to get him at number 20. How motivated do you think he's going to be, and will he play with that chip on his shoulder?
You know, I think he kind of plays with a chip on his shoulder anyway. And I'm sure it's a little bit of added motivation, but you know, today shouldn't be a bad day for him. His dreams just came true. And even if it came true in a slightly different form than maybe he hoped or he anticipated, like, you know, there are millions of us, myself included, who were on the grind and gave their all and didn't get anywhere near where he got to today. So he needs to make sure he enjoys the day and enjoys the experience. And you know, and where you get picked has zero determination on how successful you are. So now it's entirely on him to become the player that I know he can be and that he knows he can be.
And last question, Ali Kambajani.
Along with your 2 draft picks tonight, do you plan on having any of your young players from last year's roster play in a summer league? And if so, which players?
Oh yeah, we'll see when we get to Vegas who's playing.
Thank you, Rafael.
Thank you guys. Good night, everybody. Sorry it's so late.